If you allow yourself to dim your own light, how would you show up for yourself? If you allow yourself to dim your own light, how would you show up for yourself? When you say you choose yourself, but you shortchange yourself, then you analyze at the end of the say that you want to do better, not to shortchange yourself. Self-reflect, but you don't know which way to turn. Going within circles. Worry about everybody else's lane besides your own lane. Worried about how everybody else is elevating, becoming their best self-vision of themselves. But you ain't even paying attention to your own lane. It be the thought process to me, ma'am, sir. How you say you love yourself, but it's hard for you to look in the mirror within yourself to see a reflection of yourself when you look in the mirror. You can't recognize who you are. It hurts you so bad. You feel like you're wearing layers of masks on your face. It can't be removed because you feel like you're stuck. You're used to being used and abused of the mental state that you thought was the norm. Just to reevaluate your thought process, you remove the layers of masks to show for yourself, not shortchange yourself. You said there are better days ahead. I love myself. I acknowledge myself. I don't want my pain and my trauma to allow me to shortchange myself when it comes to my future. When it comes to my future. Understand the healing process when it comes to the trauma and the pain. That you got to be mentally ready and stable to understand your awareness. That getting in tune with the awareness of your trauma, your pain that endured within you at a child point of view went into your adulthood. Facing your own music is not easy. But allowing your reality becoming your awareness was choosing your best self-vision of yourself. And when you chose yourself, you didn't shortchange yourself. Because you understood that it wasn't an overnight process. You understood it wasn't a walk in the park. Because getting in tune with yourself, that was the most healthiest thing that you did for yourself, not to shortchange yourself. You understood that talk with God, that one-to-one bond, it's a bond within a bond that you have with God that nobody will be able to understand. It's not a one-sided conversation when you tuned into God. And I say that respectfully. You found balance. And you understood the walk by faith. You understood growth. And you understood the walk by faith. You understood to choose your obstacles moving forward when it came to the next door. It wasn't going to be easy. But you walked by faith. You ain't shortchanged yourself. You showed up for yourself. Wow. They ain't gonna understand how God is favoring you today. It's not meant for them to. Because you ain't shortchanged yourself when you looked at your self-reflection of yourself and you chose you. So it doesn't matter who chooses you or not. You chose you. They don't like the fact that you have confidence within yourself today to show up for yourself and mean what you say without fake gaslighting yourself because you don't play in your face. Because you know how it feels to shortchange yourself days when you couldn't see for yourself. You don't think you better than nobody, but you know what pain and trauma looks like up close in person. And you would never try to kick your neighbor down when they trying to find balance within their day. Good day, bad day, misunderstanding day. And your past don't live here today. They don't understand. Going back and forth with words. With someone who don't got common sense, let alone to respect themselves and stay in their own lane. Nah. I love my freedom a little bit too much to understand at the end of the day. I'd rather not shortchange myself to psych myself out my freedom, my thought process, my pockets, my eyesight. my mental health. Because my neighbor doesn't understand the fact that God favored me today. Ain't got nothing to do about sexual orientation, your disability or not, if you're elderly or not, your religion or your culture. Especially when you don't have malicious intentions to bring harm towards yourself or others around you. The energy hit different. They be trying to get in your lane, but they don't know which way to turn. Because they realize at the end of the day, you too protected. God's covered. You know, God's covered. God's child. God will always cover God's child at the end of the day. To protect, to cover God's child. It's the thought process for me. When you chose yourself in the most healthiest way. And you mean what you say, and you say what you mean. You don't gotta wear a mask when you're truly at peace with yourself. You don't need nobody's approval because you love yourself. You didn't need their approval when you said you loved yourself. It's a thought process for me. Sorry they didn't see your worth when it came to actually acknowledging to love you. But you loved yourself. The energy hit different when you love yourself. If someone comes into your life to shortchange you because they don't know how to love themselves, let alone love you, it sounds good for the moment. It's the thought process for me. When your intentions be good, but they sit there and play you close, it be the thought process for me. It's not easy coming out your comfort zone when you're coming through a moment within a moment of a challenge, of an obstacle. Understanding that through your journey, not everybody's supposed to be part of it. So when one door closes, another one opens. For all the right reasons. Don't shortchange yourself asking for something. Then when you get it, don't know how to value it, let alone cherish it. You fumble the table. Then to realize at the end of the day, the table's already adjusted. All because of the fact that you didn't know how to respect yourself, to respect the innocent person that was coming out their comfort zone when it came to their trauma and their pain, elevating, giving themselves time and day to show up for themselves, not shortchange themselves. Wow, one day at a time, they say, right? Never judge a book by its cover. Every day is a challenge. Every day is your awareness. Every day you choose to allow yourself to say, am I going to shortchange myself today? Or am I going to show up for myself today? The energy had different. When you have your days, good day, bad day, misunderstanding days, when you're just trying to find balance within your day to show up for yourself, to elevate. They never said every day would be a perfect day, but you gotta find balance within your day. It's a thought process for me. They're quick to judge a book by its cover, but can't even get in tune with their narrative of their description of their book. To stay in their own lane, but they're so quick to judge a book by its cover, not understanding someone's pain. Everybody's walk of life is different when it comes to pain and trauma. But I would never sit here and kick my neighbor down. But my neighbor's trying to find balance within their day. Good day, bad day, misunderstanding day. I'm not in secret competition with you. You're in a race by yourself. It's a thought process for me. When it comes to loving yourself and respecting yourself and Showing up for yourself and having awareness within yourself, having confidence within yourself, wasn't competition, neighbor. I was just in my own lane, minding my business. It's a thought process to me when you choose yourself and you elevate it. They don't understand it's still one day at a time. When you chose yourself to self-reflect at the end of the day, it's okay if your neighbor doesn't understand your walk of life. It's okay if your neighbor doesn't understand when you choose yourself in the most healthiest way. It's not about you intimidating somebody on purpose when someone is threatened by your energy when you mind your business. Or you're bothering them within them. It's awareness that they need to wake up at the end of the day. It's a toxic habit that was within them, that the enemy allowed them to believe it was the norm, to go against their neighbor, and it was never the norm. It's the thought process for me. The innocent person who has to choose themselves every day. When they minding their business, and these type of individuals show up when in a workplace, or they show up just minding their business when just walking outside, or it doesn't matter where they are. These type of individuals they just appear when you're minding your business with no malicious intentions. And the first thing they want to say, you think you're better than somebody? Excuse me? What do you mean, ma'am, sir? Better than who? Why, 'cause I love myself? Oh, is that the part you talking about? Sorry I'm bothering you. Sorry, not the fuck sorry. It's the thought process for me. What the fuck? Ah! No! No! Absolutely not. No! It's the thought process for me. Don't ever feel sorry for loving yourself. No, it ain't gonna work out. Hello? Don't shortchange yourself because someone says something to you. Hey, you ain't worthy yourself. You ain't nobody. I'm nobody to you. But I'm somebody to somebody that's gonna acknowledge me today. Or somebody that's gonna willing to choose me. It's a thought process for me. Just like everybody's not for you. It's a thought process to me. When people feel like they can control a narrative at the end of the day, regardless if you got money or not, it really be the thought process to me. People's quick to say, I'm grown! I'm an adult, I got this! But when it come to common sense, they shortchanging themselves. It really be the thought process to me. That's not an even exchange. That's not a flex to be a bully. It's not. It's nothing cute or attractive about it. It's the thought process for me, ma'am, sir. When someone decides to choose themselves and come out their comfort zone, already dealing with their life problems at the end of the day, minding their business, and someone wants to project negative energy on an innocent person, to antagonize them, to get a reaction out of an innocent person because someone is truly at peace with themselves without wearing a mask, or someone has confidence within themselves to love themselves, to understand the reflection of the mirror of themselves, that they can acknowledge themselves in the most healthiest way to know their self-worth. It's a thought process for me. This type of stuff happens every single day. Every single day. Doesn't matter what type of environment it is. It's the thought process for me. If the shoe don't fit, why try to force it on? It's the thought process for me. Just because someone didn't show you love or growing up or someone didn't respect you at the end of the day does not give you a reason to disrespect somebody because you wasn't shown love or someone didn't show you respect at the end of the day. That's not right. You don't know what someone is going through mentally at the end of the day, and you're just coming along with your negative energy. For what? And they said it respectfully, leave them alone. And you just continue to antagonize them. Like, wow. Like, you love to have a control, like, you love to control the narrative. Like, it's the thought process for me. When somebody just mind their business. It's sad that this happens every single day. It does. And where it starts is in schools, elementary schools. Bullyism is real. It's real. So a child seeing an adult bullying another adult, what do you think that child's going to do when that child goes to school? Like, for real. It don't take a rocket scientist to have a high school diploma to answer that question. And I say that respectfully. It's the thought process for me. How an individual will sit here and judge their neighbor, right? They would judge their neighbor, manipulate their neighbor's character for a description that they truly not. They would even want to fight their neighbor for no reason. Because as they in handcuffs at the end of the day, and they get to the precinct, and the officer is asking them, hey, ma'am, sir, what was the real problem? And you don't have a valid answer. No valid answer at all. Because that person didn't have malicious intentions towards you, let alone disrespected you in no shape or form. Somebody can say, have a nice day, and you're feeling some type of way. That's a problem. That's a problem. Why would you want to fight somebody because they acknowledging and respecting you at the end of the day? You're looking for a reaction out of somebody. That is disgusting. Regardless of your sexual orientation or not, at the end of the day, that is disgusting. And these individuals be the same ones screaming, I'm grown, I'm real, ah! What? How? Carrying on like that? Somebody your shoe size has more common sense than you. And that's sad. And you're supposed to be the leader. How are you supposed to be the leader at the end of the day? You're showing somebody else is the norm to be a bully. That's not a leader. A leader is not a bully. In a toxic way, like for real? In a traumatizing way, in a painful way? No. That's unhealthy. A person who's dealing with everyday problems every single day does not deserve being put in a situation where they have to worry about their neighbor, trying to psych them out their thought process when they free in their pockets when they outside because they ain't got good intentions. It's a thought process for me. It's sad that we live in a society today that someone can acknowledge somebody in the most healthiest way, right? And certain words get interpreted as disrespect. See, this is why I say common sense ain't common sense anymore. And respect ain't respect anymore. And real recognize real is definitely not. So be mindful when you're having certain conversations with certain individuals at the end of the day. Don't psych yourself out shortchanging yourself by that conversation. I say that respectfully. When you're trying to show up for yourself. In the most healthiest way. Not to dim your light. It's the thought process to me. It's sad to see that within communities, it doesn't matter where you at right now. It don't. The violence is real. Violence is real. Violence is real. It shouldn't be no reason why a family is walking down the street and a glass bottle is being thrown with a mother and child walking with an elderly person and an elderly, or it doesn't matter who's there, family or not. And it's just innocent people on the sidewalk minding their business. It should be no reason why bottles is being thrown on a sidewalk where innocent pedestrians are walking, consumers are walking, minding their business. Ain't got nothing to do with that person's situation. Ain't got nothing to do with that argument or nothing, no shape or form. It's really the thought process for me. How this is the norm. This is not the norm. This is not the norm. And I say that respectfully. This is not the norm. And if you think this is the norm, you're really part of the problem. You're part of the problem. Because it shouldn't have to wait for something to happen to you and your family when you're crossing the street and somebody throws a glass bottle at you and your family while you're minding your business. And now you're sitting in the hospital in urgent care, whatever the case may be, getting stitches in your head. And they can't find the person that did it now. And you don't even know what they look like. Tell me that's not a problem. I think that's a problem. Or it shouldn't have to take for a baby to be walking down the street and a baby get hit in the head. A baby get hit in the head. Somebody could try to psych that baby out their freedom. Then what? What happened to safety? Being a safe environment. We all deserve to be in a clean, safe environment. Clean and safe environment at all times. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. And it also takes a village in the community to be at peace within and to respect each other with no malicious intentions. With no malicious intentions. Stop the violence. Stop the violence. All money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. All attention is not good attention. It's not. All attention is not good attention. It really isn't. And all clout, it ain't good clout. And I say that respectfully. It's not. It's the thought process for me. But when the enemy allows you to believe that it was the norm to psych you out your thought process when it came to money at the end of the day, psyching yourself out your own freedom, your own will, hurt innocent people within the process. Over $1. It's a thought process to me. I don't think people have been paying attention. Judgment Day's been here. Judgment Day's been here. It's a thought process to me. You know, I say this respectfully. Be mindful when pulling on someone's energy. Be mindful when playing in someone's energy, or let alone trying to. It's a thought process to me. You'll be surprised who energy you're trying to pull on or play on at the end of the day. Not everybody's for play. Not everybody is for play. And I say that respectfully. Be careful what you're doing. And be careful what spell work you're doing as well, too. When it comes to toxic spell work. Love spells, witchcraft, voodoo in a toxic way, or whatever the case may be. Be mindful who you're playing with when you're doing this spell work. Who you're projecting this energy on at the end of the day. Because what's going to happen is you're playing in your own face. You're playing in your own face. It's so sad to see that. It's so sad to see this, yo. I'm going to save my comment for later. It's the thought process for me. At the end of the day, one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Like I said, this is not for everybody. And that's okay. I'm in my own lane, minding my business. Elevating God's plan, and I say that respectfully. It's a thought process for me. It ain't about competition at the end of the day. No. It's not about who likes who at the end of the day. Who cares? God chose me. It's the thought process for me. When God chooses you at the end of the day, that light is different. You don't care about who likes you or not. It's the thought process for me. Be careful when you're playing on somebody's time. And I say that respectfully. It's the thought process for me. Leave innocent people alone. Leave innocent people alone. And be mindful when you're judging a book by its cover because of someone's sexual orientation. Because of someone's culture. Someone's disability or not. If they elderly or not. It doesn't matter. Be mindful when judging a book by its cover. Judgment Day's been here. Have you not been paying attention? It's the thought process for me. I gotta go. Judgment Day's been here. Leave innocent people alone. Leave innocent people alone. Somebody's minding their business in their own lane. No need to project negative energy on an innocent person. Trying to prey on somebody in a toxic way. You can invest that time and energy within yourself. And I say that respectfully. No disrespect. But I'm just saying. You got too much time in your day to do spell work on someone who's not even bothering you. When you could put that energy into yourself. You could put that prayer within yourself. Speaking evil on somebody at the end of the day where you could speak that energy within yourself. Bothering innocent people. It's the thought process for me. Leave innocent people alone. You don't understand somebody's walk of life. You don't understand somebody choosing themselves. It's not meant for you to understand. They're not bothering nobody. They're not bothering nobody. Nobody. They're not bringing harm towards themselves. It's bothering you that much. It's bothering you that much. Because somebody's in their own lane. It's the thought process to me. Leave innocent people alone. I gotta go! Now you're genuine love, respect. Stop the violence. Stop the violence. Just because someone gave up on you, don't give up on yourself. Just because someone overlooked you, don't give up on yourself. You are genuinely loved by all the right people. That's genuinely for you. You are genuinely respected by all the right people. That's genuinely for you. You matter, you're worthy. It's because someone doesn't understand when you choose your best self-vision of yourself. They try. But they realize at the end of the day, I can't dim that person's light. That's God's light. I gotta stay in my lane. It's a thought process for me. Leave innocent people alone. Never judge a book by its cover. It's a thought process for me. You can't dim a light when that's God's light. You can't control God's light. And I say that respectfully. God is not for sale. I gotta go!